It starts with an earthquake, birds and snakes, an airplane, and Lenny Bruce is not afraid. Eye of a hurricane, listen to yourself, John Waltz of the song needs dumb, so your own needs fear, but now speak, run, no strap, no the ladder starts to fight out with fear, fight down, hide, wire and fire, represent the 7 games and kill them the fire in a combat site. Left there wasn't coming in a hurry with the fury screaming down your neck. Seems reports from Trump to a crop, no, look at that low plane fly, then, overflow, population common group, but it'll save itself, world, serve its own needs, listen to your heart bleed, tell me when the rapture and the reverend and the right, you patriotic, slam, fight, bright light, feel it, free, sight, it's the end of the world as we know it, it's the end of the world as we know it, it's the end of the world as we know it, I feel fine. 6 o'clock TV out, don't get caught for a tower, slash your blood and return, listen to yourself, churn, lock your man, uniform, book, burning bloodline, everybody escalate, all I'm gonna considerate, light a candle, light a moon, step down, watch your heel, brush, this means don't be a cavalier, renegade, steering clear, turn them in lies, offer me solutions, offer me alternatives, and I decline. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. I feel fine. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. I feel fine. The other chips nice continental drift divide mountain, Cineline land, Bernstein land, Bridge snap, Lenny Bruce on this defense, 50 party cheesecake, jelly bean boom, you symbiotic patriotic slam foot net, right? It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. I feel fine. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. I feel fine. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. So what's up, guys? I went and got some new comics yesterday. Haven't got a chance to break into them yet, so I was going to break into them this morning while I was drinking my coffee and pick out what it is that I'm going to read first, and such like that. So give me just a second to swap around here. All right. So anyway, hey, what's up? What's up, Terrence, man? Jumping in right off the bat, man. That's cool. Yeah, man, I'm going to go through my comics. And first of all, I thought that end of the world song was the perfect song, man, with everything that seems to be going on in the U.S. right now with all of this uprising in cities and everything that's going on. I just think is, kind of ridiculous. And so, yeah, wanted to lead in with that. But man, I got a big bag of comics. So yeah, gonna go through these, see what I got. Did you pick up anything this week, Crank Man, that you're really looking forward to reading, or that you've already read, or anything like that? All right, yeah, man. Well, I've got to first of all, I've got to say that the majority of this stack of books that I've got is my Rachel Rising omnibus that I finally got in, which I am super happy about.
So I'll talk about that first. This is Terry Moore's Rachel Rising. This is the trade paper that came out, man. All 42 issues of the Rachel Rising series. This book cost me like basically $1 an issue. It cost me $42.75 for this trade paper. And while a book that is this big, I'm not a huge fan of being bound in a soft cover. Uh, you know, I just wanted to read this book. This has been a book. I think it was like at issue 12 when I started collecting comics that Rachel Rising was like issue 12 or 13. So it wasn't something I wanted to jump in on. Yeah, Shipwreck 2 did come out. And so I waited because I know that Terry Moore likes to publish these things once he does his whole series. He will publish the whole series in one book, and that's what this is. The entire 42 issues of Rachel Rising in one trade paper. The cover price on this, I believe, was $55. Don't quote me on that, but it was something like that, right around like $55. So, I mean, you can't beat that. I mean, basically $1 an issue to get everything bound in one book. So, yeah, I'm super excited to read this. I've waited, 4 years now to finally get a chance to read Rachel Rising, and I think I'm going to crazy enjoy it. I love Terry Moore's stuff, so I'm, super positive that, I'm going to enjoy that. Something that I really, really was amazed by is that Black Mask actually has their God Killer, Tomorrow's Ashes, on the cover of Comic Shop News. And I'm to believe, from what I understand from my comic guy, that Black Mask has made a mandate that, they're going to try to get their comics out on time and, be like a normal company and shit. So super cool, if that's what they decide to do. But I'm really enthused by the fact that they are not only are they on the cover, they're on the back cover too. The variant cover is on the back of, and anybody that didn't read the first God Killer series, Mike Piazzo doing that series was freaking fantastic. His art was just off the chain. I'm a huge Ben Tipple-Smith fan. I've said a million times how much I love Ben Tipple-Smith, and that was something that Mike Piazzo's art was very color washed in a way like Ben Tipple-Smith's art was, and just super enjoyed that first arc of God Killer. I can't strongly recommend, man, going out and picking up God Killer. Anybody that doesn't know what God Killer is, basic gist of it is that in the future, the atmosphere is so bad that basically the parts of your body wear out really fast. So you have to go out and you have to get spare parts. And so that's the way that you have to go about trying to continue to live, is to go out and get these spare parts. And so like people are forced into prostitution in order to get spare parts for their kids or themselves or whatever, in order to just continue to live. It was a really, really interesting story. I think it was the first book that came out from Black Mask. I know it was the first book that I started reading from Black Mask. So it had to have been like one of their first books that came out. So, yeah, man, super enjoyed that first series. Strongly recommend anybody going out and picking that up in trade, just to support Black Mask and all that stuff. But yeah, they've got a new book coming out, which is going to be basically the second volume of God Killer. And man, they're pitting it out super freaking sweet. And yeah, and along those lines, I would also like to, because my knock on Black Mask all the time is that they can't put out books on time. And that has been my knock since the beginning, is that they would either take 2 or 3 months between putting out an issue, or they would just like put out 2 issues and then not do any more issues of a book. I'm still waiting on my last issues of Pirouette. Uh, I'm still waiting on my last issues of oh man, that Michael Morissetti time travel book that they had that was so good. Still waiting on the last issues of that book. But you know, the books that they have put out in the last few months, mainly Black. This is Black issue 2. Uh, I really kind of liked Black issue 1, and I'm interested to see what they're going to do with Black issue 2. This cover is a little, I think, controversial, and maybe coming out like the day after the whole election and all the like racial strife that was going on in the country. Maybe this wasn't the best thing, but I'm really curious to see what's going to exactly happen with this book. Issue 1 basically told us that there was a certain amount of the population that had superpowers that was designated based upon a gene. This gene mainly occurred in African Americans, and so we had a character in the first issue that got shot by some cops, and then he woke up on the stretcher because apparently he has some kind of healing factor, and he got taken in by a kind of like a shield group, I guess, that is about trying to protect these superheroes. So, issue 1 was really good. I'm interested to see where this series is going to go. I saw a lot of people pick up issue 1 on this book because they knew that it was going to sell out. But I really haven't seen anybody pick up, issue 2 on this book. Yeah, you're right, man. This is a hell of a cover. Oh, yeah, man. 74 Screw Gun, man. Good morning, man. Thanks for coming in and checking me out, dude. But yeah, this is an awesome cover. And I don't know, let's see, who does the cover on this book? Because I don't believe it's the same. So Carrie Rudolph does the cover on this book, which is not actually the same as the interior art. But the interior art on this is really good. It's a black and white book. But, I really like the interior art on this. But the first cover on this and all the variant covers on the first cover, this is really good. This cover's good. The third cover is really good. The fourth cover, I cannot wait for the fourth cover, man. The fourth cover is like crazy. It's like a Donkey Kong board, and like a black guy is running up the Donkey Kong board like Mario, but he's being chased by cops, and there's like clan members, and all this crazy stuff that's going on. And Trump is like Donkey Kong on top. Man, it's some crazy stuff going on in that book. But yeah, man, Black number 2. Looking forward to reading that. Also from Black Mask, man, I got the Forevers number 2. This is a Kurt Pyers book. I'm a huge Kurt Pyers fan. Eric Pfeiffer doing the art on this book. Colin Bell, which I've said before, really, really enjoy Colin Bell's lettering on books. It's really, really clear. But the interiors on this, are, well, you can't really tell that one. But the interiors on this, pretty freaking sweet. It's kind of a Wicked and Divine story where, you've got these people that apparently they met up like 10 years ago and something happened that has given them the power to be famous. One of them is kind of like a fashionista. One of them is like a rock star. They've all got like different things that they're popular about, and it seems like there's some kind of demonic force that cut them a deal at the crossroads that is using them in a way, but they're happy to be used because they want the fame. And so far so good. They haven't had to have their souls collected or whatever, so they're good with that. What cover is it that you saw? The black cover or the Forever's cover? Because I mean, black is pretty good. I would strongly recommend any of those Black Mass books, especially like I say, that Black Mass seems to have a we're gonna get books out on time thing now, which man is super cool because that's been my main knock. Not the quality of their books, because the quality of their books is always freaking superior to most small publishers, but their just ability to put books out was just ridiculous. I mean, I think it took me 2 years to get God Killer, and that was their main title. Pirouette, they did Pirouette, which is like one of the best books I've ever read. They did 2 issues on, and it was a 4-issue series, and they never did the third and the fourth issue. And if anybody out there that publishes comics, that has any kind of influence with people that publish comics, like say heavy metal, man, pick that Pirouette up and do a trade on Pirouette, and I guarantee you it will sell better than like anything, man. Because that book is so freaking good, man. Uh, God, it's so good. I can't say how good it is because I've only read half of it. I only read 2 issues out of 4 because you quit making it, Black Mask. But anyway, enough of my hate on Black Mask. What else did we get? I picked up a variant on Green Lantern. Really like this rainbow cover that's going on. Huge fan of rainbows. And I really enjoyed this series. And with what's going on in Green Lanterns at the moment, I feel like this cover is like a perfect illustration with the Phantom Ring that's going on and all that stuff. So yeah, went ahead and picked this up. I don't know that I'm the indie master, dude. A lot of good people out there that you can look at for indies, man. Uh, I think that Rez actually presents. She actually presents her indie comics better than I do. Uh, but I do enjoy my indies, man. I picked up Batgirls and Birds of Prey. Uh, really enjoying this super team. I like Huntress. I like Batgirl. I like Black Canary. All of them kind of even though this isn't my Huntress, uh, you know, that I enjoy. I liked her in Grayson, so you know, I'm willing to support her in this. And yeah, these issues, the interaction between the characters in this book have so far so good been you know really really great. Hey, all right, look, Rob Wise guy. All right, look. All right, here's what I think about Pirouette, because I believe that you actually know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about Pirouette. I have talked to the writer on that book. I've talked to the artist on that book. I've talked to Black Mask on that book, and they all assure me that at some point there is going to be a trade. What Black Mask told me was that they weren't going to release 3 and 4 on Pirouette, that they were going to release a trade on Pirouette. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. I just want the final issues. And that was about a year ago, year and a half ago, that they told me that. I still don't have the last 2 issues on Pirouette. And I hate, man, I will harp on that book until the end of time because it is really, honestly, have you read the first two issues, Rob? Because uh, it is honestly one of my favorite things I've read. It is brilliant writing. The art on it is gorgeous. The coloring on it is just, man, some of the best I've seen. And you know, I can't get the last couple of issues on that book. It blows my mind. But I mean, fingers crossed, man, that eventually that we do get those last issues of that book because I need to know how that story ends. You can't tell me that this little girl was kidnapped by clowns, and now we're about to go through her hometown where she was kidnapped from, and then end the story. That's just, I don't know, man. But I got Hal Jordan and Green Lantern Corps. I actually dropped this book this week. I haven't actually 110% been enjoying this book. I can't say that I understand this book. It kind of came in from some weird places. It kind of came in from the Green Lantern Corps being off in that whole those whole side series that they were doing, which I read part of, but I didn't read the whole thing, and I just kind of felt lost in picking up exactly what's going on. I read Sinestro, but like part of what's going on with this doesn't like actually totally mix with what was going on with Sinestro. So yeah, I don't totally understand this book, and I would much rather just read the Green Lantern's title. So yeah, I went ahead and dropped this week, even though, like I say, man, it's a pretty good book. But I'm not a huge John Stewart fan. I'm not a huge Hal Jordan fan. They're not my favorite Green Lanterns. So, you know. Well, man, got a couple of people in here, man. Thanks, guys, for coming in and listening to me talk nonsense. Uh, I got Red Hood and the Outlaws, number 4. Uh, been super enjoying this book. Uh, Scott Liddell has pretty much been writing this book since it started in New 52, and has been able to tell a story. And when Rebirth started, um, it started over the story, but it didn't necessarily start over the character. I didn't really feel like there was anything on this book really lost from what was going on in New 52 to what went on in this book. But I'm really excited to read this book because in the 0 issue, we got a lot of back stuff on Jason Todd. In issue 1, we got the like what's going on between Jason Todd and uh, Black Mask. In issue 2, we kind of got what was going on with with Artemis and got introduced to Bizarro. And issue 3, we got introduced to Bizarro. And so this issue should just really be like, the team going out and doing stuff. So yeah, man, super excited to freaking check this book out. Also super excited about on this cover, the coloring of what's going on with this robot thing back here. Because I was trying to draw a color a Superman cover, and I could not for the life of me figure out exactly how to color robots. So that's pretty cool. Man, I continue to think that these covers, is it Bernard Chang? It's not Bernard Chang, man. That is not this dude's name. I always get it freaking wrong. Oh, it is Brian Ching. All right, so yeah, Brian Ching's doing the art on Supergirl. Super enjoying his art. I'm not a huge Steve Orlando fan, but I really enjoyed what he's been writing in Supergirl. And I crazy enjoy these covers. There was a bingo cover also that I ordered from Midtown on this, so that'll be super sweet. But yeah, really enjoy his art. Really enjoy this. I was one of the few people I think that when Batgirl swapped over to this like more like kid-like thing going on, that I was super excited about it. So I kind of feel the same way about this, that they're kind of throwing youth into the whole story that's going on, with a lot of these people. So, super cool. All right, I'll be right back. I'm going to go get some more coffee, guys. I'll be right back. Say just close it. There should be an answer for it. All right, back at it, man. So is anybody still in here, man? No? It's all cool. Anyway, I got Green Valley #2. The art and coloring on this book were amazing in the first issue. Really good, almost like a Dungeons and Dragons story. Really enjoyed it. And the end of the first issue kind of had a really good cliffhanger that I'm kind of excited to see uh, where this goes. Man, Max Landis' story in issue 1 was super freaking good. Got Nailbiter number what is this, 20? Oh my god, 26, man. 26. uh I love the way they do these holiday covers. I love the Thanksgiving cover, uh and the Halloween cover, and I like this Christmas cover. Just freaking super good stuff, man. The way they do these holiday covers. I'm glad that the story arc that was going on is over with, and now we can get back to what's going on in Buckaroo. So, you know, not to give anything away, if you haven't read Nailbiter, man, check this out in trade. Uh, there's some super awesome, uh, super awesome hardcovers uh, in Nailbiter that you can check out. Uh, and they're kind of oversized, so it actually shows the art off a little better. You know, check that out. But yeah, man, basically a story about a town full of serial killers and what's going on with them. All right, we'll put that there for now. I got Gwenpool #8. Happy that we're going to get back on track with what's going on with Gwenpool. and all that stuff. She ran off and did a story arc with like uh, what's his fucking name? The Spider-Man, the Miles Morales. She ran off and did like some kind of like fangirl thing with Miles Morales. But I'm really happy that it's going to get back to like her actually like running this like running Modoc's organization and what's going on there. Great cover. It's really been a great book. I mean, all in all, man, really been a great book. Got Shipwreck #2, Warren Ellis book, Phil Lester Hart. Issue 1 was really, really great. I'm not sure who does the coloring on this book. I guess Eric Gaffer does the coloring on this book, but the coloring really, really good. I don't know how many people checked this out in issue 1, but yeah, issue 1 was super good. I'm sure anybody that likes Warren Ellis check this out. If not, hey man, Warren Ellis is writing a book from Aftershock. Check it out. Good stuff. I got the last issue on Paybacks from Heavy Metal. I've said 1,000 times now that I'm not a huge fan of Paybacks since it went over to Heavy Metal, but I'm curious to see how the story ends. So we'll go ahead and check this out. Not a huge fan of the art in the book. I love, love Jeff Shaw's art, but without Lauren Appy's coloring, I haven't been a huge fan. I love Donny Cates' writing, but it seemed kind of convoluted to me in the whole Paybacks thing. So, is what it is. I didn't realize this. Is this a wraparound? No, it's not a wraparound. But yeah, I'm glad that's over. I can get around to checking out other things. Chimichanga #2. Chimichanga #1 was hilarious. It almost seemed in Chimichanga #1 like this was a story that was in like some kind of anthology book. But yeah, I'm really happy to read Chimichanga #2, Eric Powell book. That I know a lot of people like Eric Powell. This actually came out from Dark Horse. There's a issue coming out next month, issue #4, that actually is signed and sketched by Eric Powell. Anybody wants to get into that? I got Motor Girl #1 from Terry Moore. Like I said, I'm a huge Terry Moore fan, so grabbing that. I went against everything I believe, except for the fact that I like Boom Studios. And I picked up Namesake #1, which is written by Steve Orlando, who I just absolutely, man, Steve Orlando drives me nuts. But the interior art on this book is actually pretty good. It reminds me of a book I read called Winter World. And so yeah, curious, I'll check that out. I mean, it's only a 4-issue series from Boom, so one good thing about Boom Studios is that generally they only put out like 4-issue or 6-issue series. I just hope this isn't one of those series that right now they're telling me it's going to be 4 issues, and then when it sells a lot of issues, they go and make it into an ongoing or a 12-issue series. Speaking of Steve Orlando, I got issue 2 on Midnighter and Apollo. I know that I ripped the first issue in half, but yeah, still, I'm going to check this out and see what's going on. I got Giant Days #20. And for anybody that's ever seen Giant Days covers, this is a totally different Giant Days cover from anyone that's ever come out. It's like almost not the same book. Like I had to do a double take to make sure this was the same book, because normally these characters in some way are illustrated on the front, And this is just them illustrating some kind of mousetrap thing. But yeah, still enjoying Giant Days. That's actually the last issue of Giant Days that I'm going to pick up in single issues. I'm going to go to trade on Giant Days. So we'll see how that works out, because it may be a year before I actually get another issue of Giant Days, because they just released the third trade, which gets us up to issue 12. So I mean, yeah, it may be a minute before before I actually get to another issue of that. I got Metro #1 from Oni Press. I picked this up because of the fact the artist on this book um, did the art on a book that I read that Kate Leth wrote for Boombox called Power Up, and so I picked this up because Eric Ferretta uh, really enjoyed the art on that, and so yeah, really curious to check out what this book's going to be about, because I mean I'm absolutely 110% a supporter of, if I like your book, then I will pretty much buy anything, that you put out after that, until you put out a couple of books in a row that are just absolute crap. And then I might still pick up your book. But, just me. Wow. This is really important right here. 86. I don't know if anybody's reading Unfollow, but I don't know what happens in this issue. But I'm not even going to open it up, because I'm to assume that like 30 people are going to die, and I'm pretty sure that I understand who they're going to be, and I don't want to know anything that's inside this issue to let me know that there was a mass suicide or something like that, because I'm pretty sure that that has to have to do with the mass suicide, because in the last issue I believe that we had 117. So 86, what's that, like 30 people? Yeah, pretty sure something pretty drastic happens in this issue. So yeah, not even going to open that up. Unfollow. Basically a story about some people that are given an invite to come to an island. There's 140 of them, and this multi-billionaire guy, like basically the guy that like invented the internet, is giving away his fortune to these 140 people. If they would like to have more money, then they have to kill each other. And it started out really slow, and apparently since like probably about 30 something people die in this issue, it's really picked up. Picked up Violent Love from Image, because I'm a huge Frank Barbary fan. So I went ahead and picked this up. Not a huge fan of the interior art on this book, but I hear that it's got a pretty good story. So, maybe it'll grow on me. Because, like I say, I really like his writing, and I super love this cover. It reminds me a lot of Love and Rockets. So, pick it up for that reason, nothing else. And, all right, man. Last book that I picked up this week was Mother Panic #1. Really disappointed that I didn't get the variant I wanted on this. I did actually order it off Midtown, so I do have it. But I really wanted to read this book, so I went ahead and picked it up just to check out what's going on. Like I said before, I'm a huge freaking fan of Tony Lee Edwards' art. So, that's the reason I picked up this book. And, yeah, man. Anybody not reading these Young Animals titles? These are kind of lesser known creators putting out books. you know, worth checking out for sure. Uh, Doom Patrol. I didn't like the first issue on Doom Patrol, but I hear that it's really come a long ways. Shade. I didn't really like the first issue on Shade. Again, I've heard that's come a long ways. Cave Carson. I did like the first issue on Cave Carson. And then Mother Panic. Those are the four Young Animal titles out right now. But yeah, man, I appreciate everybody checking in. I appreciate Rob Wise and Alice Comic Order and Comic Crank. And, I know I'm forgetting some names, man, that, 72, 74 Screw Gun, people that, were in the chat, check out those people, see what's going on over there. And, yeah, I'm going to get off here for now, and I will catch up with y'all later after I read some comics.